number again here. So let me start off. In fact, quickly, I am into business development mainly in the company that I'm working for. But I started off as a government employee, probably close to about 35 years ago. So I worked in the roads and buildings department. Did not feel that roads and buildings department was suitable for me. I came out of roads and buildings department to do some business. So I wanted to do some small scale industry. So, but somehow that small scale industry thing did not go up. So I continued to do some consulting, probably in the private sector, me and a friend of mine. And soon we went into IT. So we set up an IT company. So we ran the company for close to about 10 years. And then after that, I moved on. Basically, I moved out of the entrepreneurship thing because of some reasons. And I worked probably for a large company by name Prolific. I wouldn't say large in the sense, not very large though, but a mid-sized company, Prolific. And after that, after 10 years, I've been in, I joined MIT about 3 years ago. So that's briefly, what and Kishore sir had quickly read out my resume. That's not very important, but what is important is basically, I think, is my interaction, whatever experience that I can share with you. That's what I think. And what I intend to cover here in this session is, I think, probably since I'm coming from the IT sector, you people would expect, at least a lot of people would expect, what are the trends in IT? That's a common question wherever I go. So I need to basically cover a few IT trends, not all, at least the top 5, at least in my opinion, where probably there are opportunities going to happen in the future. And more importantly, while I don't want to dedicate all my time to IT trends, I also want to spend some time helping some of the people and who probably might make mistakes at the entry level. So I made some mistakes. I've seen a lot of people, I interviewed a lot of people who were coming into IT companies, and I know what kind of mistakes they make and what kind of myths they have or beliefs that they have, which probably are false notions. And to the extent that I know, I thought probably I'll just focus a little bit on that. And maybe the other important topic that you probably might be interested in is what I thought was, what do interviewers look for? So that's one thing, because I'm sure, all of you are final year guys. Sir, all these people are final year guys, sir? Or you
no, sir. All year students are there, sir. And some faculty are also there.
So these are first year, second year, third year, all the
yes,
years?
Sir. All the years, yes, sir.
Oh, good. Oh, very good, very good.
Thank
so
you,
at
sir.
least my target is maybe for the first, second years, probably just take whatever I can give, whatever you understand, just take it. Probably you will have more sessions like mine. Maybe the college, Principal Garu and Kiran Garu would be able to organize more sessions for sure. So you'll benefit later on. But just take whatever understanding that you have from whatever I speak today. That's sufficient. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. And please ask me, if you want to. You people are welcome to ask, to stop me and then ask questions. There's no problem, as the session is progressing. And those people who want to put their questions towards the end of the session, that's also fine. You can also ask me later on. So after what interviewers look for, I would like to suggest what things to do when you are basically going from probably a college to company. I mean, when you start the initial years, what are the things that you got to remember? And probably for those people who want to read, probably understand a little more, I wanted to give you some suggested reading. This is my agenda. I think I should be able to cover this in about, say, 45 minutes, probably maybe a few minutes this side or that side. But don't bother, because I can still wait for some time. If you have questions, I can still wait, answer some of your questions, and then leave. So I'll be open-ended, but it doesn't matter. It takes about 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, I can continue to keep going. So let me start off with this. I hope we're good, sir. Can I go on with the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Sure. So what are the top trends? I'd like to basically talk about them. So before talking about anything, getting into the trends, I probably would like to basically take one simple example, Google, something which all of you are probably aware of. Google is something that everybody is aware, and you may probably understand if I take this example. That's the reason why I basically took Google. And can students interact? Well, can they speak to me or they cannot? Or everybody's muted?
Yes, sir. Actually, if we want, if they want to speak, I will unmute them, sir. We can do it in the at the end. We can do it, sir. Maybe.
No problem. No problem.
Yes,
I think we can also go this way.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Google is a search engine. I think all of you basically know what Google is. I mean, very clearly, I think you must have used Google. All of you might have used Google, whether IT or non-IT. Everybody is using it today. And you basically search the information that you want. And is it a normal search engine? It is not a normal search engine. It's an intelligent search engine. Do you know how many pages are there on the web today? They're close to about 130 trillion web pages on the internet today. So when you are basically asking a question, Google has the capacity to basically browse through all 130 trillion web pages and get you an answer in just in a jiffy, in a fraction of a minute. That is the power of Google. And a normal search engine cannot really do that. Google is an intelligent search engine. So that intelligence is something that probably man has given it. So you call it as an artificial intelligence search engine. On an average, Google basically takes 2 trillion questions a year. 2 trillion, mind you, 2 trillion questions, not billion, 2 trillion questions a year on average. And it stores every question every user today asks Google. Google will have a repository of all questions. But you might still see that when you are asking questions, Google is not able to give you an answer correctly all the time. Google can give you answers, but Google cannot give you answers right all the time. So what you do, you basically try to rephrase your question and try to basically ask for an answer again by paraphrasing the question. And sometimes Google fails then also. Again you try, and then probably Google might give you a correct answer. So when Google is giving correct answer, you stop there, and then probably you answer and you go. But Google doesn't stop there. It basically takes even those questions also where it failed to give you an answer, mind you. And it looks at every question and then probably where it has failed and tries to basically improve. It analyzes itself and improves it. And so next time when you are asking the question which is on similar lines, or somebody else is asking that kind of a question, it knew that the answer that that particular person is looking at is not exactly what Google earlier brought out. It will basically try to improve itself on a continuous basis. And how is Google able to improve on its own? Google has certain very complex algorithms. These are the algorithms which basically take every search. And the people who are very good at English, the people who can ask questions very well, the people who can't ask questions well, the people who know where the questions are wrongly framed. Certain people don't know what to ask for, though it might be in their mind. Google has to take care of everything there and then has to give you an answer. So this is possible only in case the search engine is intelligent. And that intelligence is there because of these intelligent algorithms which are there. And so Google is an artificial intelligence search engine. Please understand that. How do you artificial intelligence is imparted to Google? So somebody makes a question and then probably Google makes a Google answer. Does it mean that Google, somebody is getting into Google and then trying to basically improve the code so that Google is able to get you the right answer? No. If that is what it is, there'll be always somebody who has to continuously keep changing the Google logic or the algorithms in Google, which basically gives you the search answers. They automatically improve themselves. Those are algorithms which are intelligent enough, which can automatically, completely on their own, can improve and then probably get themselves right. So that is possible when the machine, the computer, the servers, or the algorithms that basically which support them, the algorithms themselves are intelligent enough to update themselves on their own. Nobody goes into Google and encodes them. Again, make these changes. Google, the machine learning algorithms which are there within Google, they can automatically upgrade themselves. They can basically change their code and improve on their own. And that is why artificial intelligence and machine learning seem to be very, very key things, are very important things these days. And that's exactly what I'm trying to basically hint at. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are two things that I'm going to talk about, maybe in the upcoming slides. And another one, let me tell you, Google also has maybe Google Trends. I hope a lot of people who are here also know what Google Trends is. Google Trends is again another service of Google, which basically looks at data that it collects and then from the data, it tries to basically predict what will happen in the future. Today, we are infected with corona. So there are pandemics that basically happened some time ago. So let's say 1918 Spanish flu is something like our corona. In 1918, Spanish flu was such a worst pandemic, or say worst disease the world has ever seen in recorded history. Close to about 50 million to 100 million people died. So such kind of big pandemics basically come and then basically shake us all up. We can still depend upon Google Trends to tell us when a pandemic can erupt. So what is the current state? Which states will first basically have this pandemic? And then if the pandemic is there, is it in a controllable level, not controllable level? What kind of strain? What kind of strain I mean to say, what kind of pandemic is going to come? What kind of flu? Is it flu, A category virus, flu, A and B category virus, flu, C virus, or any other strand? Which is the virus is basically going to come into? Those kind of trends can also come basically from Google. You can search today, you can Google Trends and see some questions. You can ask in Corona. It can tell you when did people search for Corona the maximum, which date was it? What kind of questions were asked? All that information it can basically do. And Google also has a rank brain, which can basically give you responses in the order of importance. The listing of answers that Google gives today is again on account of certain capabilities Google inherently has, and it basically ranks all the answers that it gives, so that it tries to basically hit the exact answer. So what are the things that we basically talked about? One is we talked about artificial intelligence. We talked about machine learning, and for these algorithms, machine learning algorithms to become better and better, it needs data. I told you, Google basically stores every question that you're asking. Remember that. And once they start asking that kind of questions, it stores that kind of questions, it uses all those questions, and then tomorrow it improves. So it needs data. So that is where we're going to talk about big data in the upcoming slides. And the science which basically works with it is called as data science. So we're going to talk about these important things, which are the trends that I'm going to talk about. One is artificial intelligence and machine learning, and big data and data science. And I also have a couple of things too after that. I'll take them when I come there. So I hope you understand the direction that I'm trying to take. Let me go on to the next slide. So trends, IT trends. So probably this covered to me. I think I see a patch here that how many people are attending. Sir, is it possible to take away this black patch that says how many people have entered the waiting room for this meeting, so that I'm not able to read the presentation clearly? Kiran, sir?
Yes, sir. You can close from your end, sir. You can click on that cancel participants and you can close it, sir.
1 second. It shows see waiting room. So let me see, how I can basically take this off. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll go into IT trends. So the first one I talked about is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So what is artificial intelligence? It is the ability of a computer program or a machine. A machine, what I mean is not just a computer, it can even be a robot, to perform tasks that require intelligence. So it's not that, it is just done because you put a rule there. It can think on its own and it can basically do, as I talked about in the artificial intelligence Google search. It can decide what answer to give. And what is machine learning? Machine learning is machine works on their own here. Machine learning is the machines basically learn here, and they have self-learning algorithms, and where nobody is required to code with commands. They learn on their own. So unless it is happening this way, it is not possible to basically do a lot of things. So machines always try to learn on their own in machine learning. And if the data is available in plenty, then they do deep learning. They can't go wrong once all the data is basically given to it. So how is it done? It can be based on logic. It can be even rules also, where logic and rules basically they take in and they understand a pattern, and based on that they take decisions. This is how basically it happens. And this artificial intelligence that we're talking about and the machine learning today is used in a lot of industries. So let us say, for example, that you are basically talking about driverless cars. The first thing that you see here is a driverless car. So driverless cars basically require artificial intelligence and machine learning too. You don't have a driver there. So it has to basically decide what to do. It sees a signal, the car has to basically stop on its own. It sees probably an object where it would strike, or suddenly some object comes right in front of it. It basically has to stop on its own. And how does it happen? It happens only when it has certain artificial intelligence. It happens only when there is machine learning there. So the car knows there that there is a red signal there, it has to stop. The car sees suddenly some object is flying towards it, so it decides, or probably it rains, it knows that it has to start maybe the wiper. And then probably the rain is done, it has to basically stop the wiper. And suddenly some truck is coming straight in front of it, and probably uncontrollable truck is straight away coming right in front of it, should basically take side, which has to basically go onto one side of the road and stop. All these things have to happen without a driver. So this is the place where people are experimenting now, and machine learning is something which probably is something that really is going to happen sometime. And today, Uber, you have these hailing services, like Uber, Ola, and all that. Today they're in losses. I mean, all these services are in losses. They're not making any money. A lot of money is going towards the driver. 75% of the money is going towards the driver. And it's possible in the future, when driverless cars come, they're going to be profitable. And let's also look at maybe, let me take you on to the other side. Artificial intelligence is also very, very useful in law. Law, how many judgments are there, how many journals are there. And supposing some typical case comes. So you all seen very controversial cases basically coming up. Rama Janmabhoomi, Babri Masjid case. And how will a judge know what to give? Because he's never had any kind of a precedent. And how many journals can he go through? How many documents can he go through to give this kind of judgment? And they depend on artificial intelligence here. The computer program runs through all the documents which are digitized. Every document that is digitized. Digitized is not in paper form. Digitized is in electronic form. Maybe something which is typed and probably available. That's what I mean by digitization here. So it goes through all that and it gives you suggestions. I mean, this probably could be one way of finding an answer for your question. I mean, maybe in about 1940 or 1870 or 1590, there was a judgment of a similar case. So this is the kind of a judgment that happened, and then people benefited from this judgment. You can take this thing also. A judge wants to take it, he can take it. He doesn't want to take it, he need not take it. Let's also look at maybe call centers too. I'm only a few examples of these. There's so many examples that you can talk of. Let's talk about call centers. Call centers, people talk to them. The very, very depressing job for a lot of people, because you don't know how customers behave. They work day and night. And some customers probably are drunk. Some customers basically have bad manners. They can shout, they can shriek. I mean, they think this is not working and something doesn't work and they can show they do. They can frustrate customer service representatives. So when customer service representatives get a call from a particular individual in a call center, automatically artificial intelligence gets all the data relating to the person and then says, this guy has low emotional quotient. He will get angry very easily. You have to basically behave with like this. If you talk to him like this, he'll be nice. But if you talk to him like this, he'll get angry. So that makes somebody's job very easy and it saves a lot of time. And you must have seen today, if any of you had gone through ICIET, if you've gone through HDFC sites today, I'm sorry, excuse me. There is online banking. You have chatbots, voice bots. When you're asking, you don't have to really type, you don't have to basically, try to call a customer representative. On the site itself, on the online site of an online banking site, you can interact with a voice bot. You say, can you please, open my account? It can open your account. It hears your voice, it can open your account. It says, can you transfer this money? It might even transfer your money. Chatbot, you want to chat with a bot, you can chat with a bot. And nobody is there, and these are automatically done. And when you ask a question, the bot will decide what answer to give, it decides and gives. And these are all certain things, where artificial intelligence and machine learning is used. I hope it's clear for I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So, please. So let me move on to the other trend. So how do algorithms basically work? So before that, let's basically talk about maybe data. So we knew, we did talk about it. Algorithms today can become only intelligent, or machine learning can happen, or deep learning by machines can happen only when there's a lot of data fed to it. Data means a new case. Every time a new case comes, that particular system would stop that particular case and keep it as a data point. And so if based upon this scenario, it could find an answer for a future scenario which is similar to that. So more data a system has, it can give you accurate information. And data today is exploding. Data is doubling at the rate of it's doubling every 16 months. There's so much of data that is there today. So many inventions today are happening. If somebody wants to just preview the inventions that are made by everybody in a single day, it will take that particular person 6 months to preview them. Forget about reading them, understanding them, just previewing the new ideas that are coming up. A person will take about 6 months of those ideas that are coming up in one day by all the people. So how is it possible to basically examine those kind of things? So the extremely large data sets, they don't basically get into a traditional database, So you can't put them in SQL, you can't put them in Oracle. So you can't really process such kind of data and make meaningful information out of data. So they have basically brought out certain tools or certain databases where data can be stored, retrieved, and processed. And those are Hadoop, Apache Storm, Cassandra. These are certain places where these are certain databases, like the way that you're seeing SQL and Oracle. And these are kinds of databases which can store big data. So big data cannot be stored in databases. So for example, a product list in Amazon, it's huge, it continuously keeps growing. Facebook users and profiles, the profiles of the Facebook users. It's impossible. Let's understand. Normal database cannot really hold it. And that's when you do have certain technology which can store big data and can retrieve big data. And big data is needed for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Without big data, machines can never be smart. I hope you might have heard. There's a computer which basically has defeated Gary Kasparov in chess. It's called as IBM Blue. IBM Blue is a predecessor of IBM Watson. That's an intelligent machine. So how did it basically defeat Gary Kasparov? So how did a computer defeat Gary Kasparov? Because computer have algorithms. Those algorithms basically continue to keep on working. Every time it works with Kasparov and it gets defeated, it takes all the information and stores it. 1,000 times if Gary Kasparov or any great player works with a computer, it plays with the computer, and computer might basically be getting defeated all the 1,000 times. 1,001th time, it becomes intelligent enough that it can even defeat Gary Kasparov. That's what I'm trying to say. And how is it able to defeat Gary Kasparov? Because of the data it is taking. So that is where the big data is coming into picture. So big data is coming in. There's a lot of value to big data today. And people have to basically be using the big data. Since databases are not able to store, new databases are being innovated. And there's certain tools where big data can be processed. It can reveal a lot of trends. So data science is a study of developing methods, way of recording, storing, and analyzing the big data. So a lot of people, you might be all hearing about data science. And it not only stores data, records data, and analyzes data, but also makes meaning out of data. It runs analytics. It says, from this data, this pattern can be seen. For example, let us say in the winter, in this particular state in the US, people are, by looking at the past data, I can say that people will buy more beer. So this much of beer probably people might consume in this particular location. So that information is used by a lot of retailers. They stock that particular beer in that particular locality. So when people go, beer is available. So I'm giving a very simple example. So a lot of data science tools are also there. SAS is there, Tableau, MATLAB, D3. There's some of the tools of data science. So where is data science useful? Where do you find it? So you can find it in many applications. I'm going to talk about this one. You see this blue picture here. I'm putting Amazon here. Amazon basically uses all your data to see what your buying patterns are. Google looks at all your data and throws you an advertisement that you're interested in. And then, your banking, they collect a lot of data people in banking. They see what you're spending, how you're spending, how much money you're getting, what are the things that interest you. Are you a saver? Are you a spender? Did you basically, did you ever default on any particular loan? In the case of a credit card, or in the case of maybe a home loan, did you default anywhere? Did you pay all your bills one time? They can look at a lot of information, and then it decides when you're applying for a loan, it says, no, I'm not going to give it. So underwriting says no to this particular person. Underwriting is a process where they decide to give a loan to a person or not. So it tells them that don't give a loan to this person. That's how data is being used. And Amazon basically tells you, it gives you advertisements, it gives you a lot of customized information saying that this particular sale is there, the big sale is there, please come, and then basically participate in the big sale. And you're interested in mobile, it throws you only a mobile specific advertisement. Only when mobile sales are there, it's going to basically give you the sale. There's a mobile sale here. Why don't you come and basically take it? And insurance products also. Insurance companies look at your data and tell you that, okay, this person has this kind of a risk profile. And at this particular age, for this risk profile, for this kind of salary that he's getting, or this kind of a profit that he's making, you are likely to basically buy this kind of insurance product. Insurance products could be a term plan. It could be maybe a simple plan of a life insurance plan. It could be any such plan. So these kind of things probably you can do. So they will tell you, they will basically target you that, they target you and then say that, why don't you basically invest in this plan? And when an insurance agent is coming to you, who had basically done some study of big data, he had looked at all the information and he had come to you that with a product that you are probably interested in buying. It could be wrong, but that is how decisions are made. And that's the reason why I say big data is very, very, very important too. And this is the area where your IT is going to it. Let me go on to the next one. And the other one is IoT. IoT is Internet of Things. So you have mobile devices today that are connected to internet. Why not you connect your fridge to internet? Why not you connect probably your washing machine to internet? Why not you connect maybe probably your fan to internet? So you can probably connect any device to internet. And that science which deals with connecting a lot of devices to the cloud, or basically it's called as Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is extending the power of internet beyond computers and smartphones to a whole range of new things. So devices can connect to internet and they send and receive information. For example, let me talk about an irrigation system. And a lot of people probably know farming. Let's say somebody is growing an orchard. So he's going let's say he's basically growing what should I say, a mango garden. Let's say. So mango garden is with irrigation. So what does it do? So you have the farmer has to go and he has to basically start his irrigation system. So he has to switch on the irrigation system. He looks at the soil. Oh, I gave this, the crop, I irrigated that about say last week. It is due now for irrigation. Let me basically start it up. He goes and then starts off his sprinkler irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation basically starts irrigating the system. But now you don't really need to do that. You have a sensor there to the irrigation system. The sensor basically understands the humidity in the soil. So it says the soil is dry now. The sensor basically can catch it. And it says it is the time to basically turn on an irrigation system. And there's no intervention from a farmer. It automatically can start up its own irrigation system. So how does the sensor know? Sensor is connected to the internet. Irrigation system is also connected to the internet. So the sensor basically gives the information to the internet saying that today the soil, I look at the humidity of the soil, or probably I look at the soil, it's low, it's time for irrigation. And that message goes to the irrigation system. The irrigation system starts off on its own and starts giving water. When it's full again, the sensor tells it, stop it, it's full, and it can stop it off. And that's how basically Internet of Things works. And you know, Cisco basically is estimated, Cisco is one large company, and it is estimating that by the end of this year, 50 billion devices are going to get connected to the internet by the end of the year. Mind you, 50. It can be anything. It can be, you know, I'm not saying that's still so popular among the common people, but people are using it now. You can have probably, you know, you're sitting in your office and probably you can turn off your phone at your home because your fan is also connected to the internet. I mean, you call it as, basically you call it as cloud. So, and you can even stop your tap at home by basically turning off the, from your mobile phone, you can even stop off this tap that is turning in your kitchen. That's how Internet of Things works. And a lot of popular large companies have already started putting in money. And whatever areas that I'm talking about, let's say, you know, artificial intelligence, every large company is into it. They've invested huge amount of money. Google has invested in it, Microsoft has invested in it, Pinterest has invested in it, Facebook has invested in it. And all these companies have invested in Internet of Things also. The same companies have also invested in big data and your data science also. So remember, these trends are taken looking at, you know, what large companies are basically trying to look at. May I request you to please not switch on your video, please, because this is distracting me. I'll have to stop everybody's video. So every time I have to basically stop, and I'm losing the focus here. Please, students, you know, please don't turn on your video, please, because I'm getting a lot of notifications on my system. Please. So you're looking at this, you know, Internet of Things. I mean, here also all large companies are basically doing it. So there's internet IoT platforms. Cisco is there. IoT clouds are there for Microsoft. IBM is also having a Watson, which is an IoT platform, and GE has got Predix, and every large company is also having, you know, internet clouds. So where all is this being used today? It is being used today, for example, let's say smart homes. We talked about maybe, you know, switching off your tab, switching off probably, you know, your phone, your fans and things like that, and switching off your lights. You can do it from anywhere. And let's look at maybe, you know, healthcare here. For example, a lot of wearables are there in the case of healthcare challenges. So how does it help you? So I can basically see this wearable is something where a small sensor is put. For example, you can put it in your watch, you can put it on your phone, you can put it under your body, you can put underneath your skin also. These sensors give a lot of information to the cloud. I'm a patient, the sensor is on me. The sensor continues to give information to the cloud, and it is again connected to another monitor. From the cloud, the information goes to your monitor. The doctor in Mumbai would be monitoring your health. I'm saying your BP is down, the doctor in Mumbai can see that. Or probably you're maybe, you know, you probably need dialysis, or probably you might need maybe you have to basically put it to ICU. Very quickly on the monitor with the doctor, it shows up maybe in thousands of miles away. And this is possible with Internet of Things. And then it can also be used in smart cities. Smart cities are those places, for example, Vizag is a smart city today. So what is a smart city? You have a control center in the city from where you can see how the city is functioning. For example, how is the traffic in the city? Which roads have a high traffic? And the sensors on the road collect the information and then say there's a lot of traffic on this particular road, and throw that information back to the control center. So you can warn the pedestrians. You can basically tell other vehicle users that don't take that road, or there's an accident in that road. It'll automatically give you information. There's a power outage on that road. Power outage means there's no power on that road. Something happened. There's no power on the road at all. Immediately, the electricity department is notified. There's no power on that road. Go do something. You don't have to go physically and verify that. You automatically will know. And traffic signals are not working. You know it. Anything and everything. Some vehicles, there's some accidents are happening there. And they can even go to the individual level and then say what caused the accident, who basically was wrong. You don't have to basically depend on people here. The systems which can help you. That's where IoT can help. And we talked about IoT in agriculture. We talked about irrigation pumps and all that. This is how another trend is going to happen in IT. Let me go on to the next trend. It's virtual reality. What is virtual reality? It's an artificial environment which is created with software, that for user it appears real. So there'll be a head-mounted display. So there'll be something like maybe on your head you basically put a display. I mean, you see through as if you're putting the glasses on your eyes, but not just eyes, the entire head. So you're basically going to look at that kind of a device. Yet again, all the companies have started investing in this kind of technology. For example, Google has something called as Dreamweaver. That's his head. I mean, that's his headset. Microsoft has something called as HoloLens. I mean, it's something that you put on top of your head. And these are they basically help you with virtual reality. The artificial environment. What environment? If you basically get in there and you switch on the right software, it can take you underneath an ocean. You really feel it that you're underneath an ocean. Which means that, I mean, it's not as simple as just a headset. It also has certain glows. It's got certain kinds of virtual reality glows, so that supposing you're under an ocean, and then probably if you feel that there's small fish there, if you touch it with your hand, you feel that there's a fish. You feel a fish there, and you are basically trying to maybe touch probably something like maybe a seahorse, or probably trying to maybe catch something which is shouting. I mean, virtual reality will also mimic that sound also, so which means it's almost real for you. You can move there. You get so immersed in it. It's called as an immersive VR, immersive virtual reality. Not like, maybe, your game. Games you stay outside, but you still play. But you know how much, your car is going straight, another car comes in, and if you're not basically moving your car out, but both cars will dash. That's not immersive VR, virtual reality. Gaming is one thing, one application that everybody is seeing, but there are many applications in virtual reality too. So you have wearable devices. You also have some control of wands. It's not wands, it's wands. You have joysticks too. You have headsets too. You have sensing gloves also for input and output. Once you wear them, you really feel an environment there. You sit at home and you can feel an office. You can really see people. If other people are also participating in the virtual reality thing, if you are sitting at home, other person is also sitting at home, and everybody is wearing a headset, it feels like all of you are in the office. And you feel the door, you feel people, you can talk as if you're talking to the other person sitting next to you. There is a kind of experience it can give you. The plethora of applications. Where do you use it? For instance, let me tell you, for example, in the case of construction industry. I'm sorry. So this is what I'm saying, this construction industry. What's say in construction industry? You don't know, you wanted to basically build a huge building and you don't want to make any mistakes. How do you know it? So once you use virtual reality to construct a complete building there, you want to move doors, you can move doors. You want to basically, increase the size of the wall, you can increase the size of the wall. You basically wanted to erect a glass partition, you can erect a glass partition. You want to take it off, you can take it off. You can do anything and everything with just minor movements. And that's possible. And you don't have to really waste so much of money and experience by looking at only real world examples. You don't have to. You can just mimic it and then basically do that. And the second one here is flight simulator. This is a flight here. Two people sitting here. A flight simulator basically is a mimicking of real flight simulation. Where it feels like you're really driving it, and it helps you to basically understand how the weather conditions are when you're going under clouds. It tells you when a thunderstorm is there, what kind of problems you're going to face. And it can, if you're going, beyond, if you lose your signal, what happens to your aeroplane. All these things can be made by using virtual reality. So that way, you don't have to really get into the aircraft to basically understand and train and understand, how to basically go through difficult situations. Real life situations which are difficult, you'll never experience it all the time. You experience it only once in a while, and if you're not trained for it, and if you're not good enough, then it probably can cause you a problem. But virtual reality can help you. Similarly, in the case of army, military. So in the case of military, suddenly, you might have, a lot of people might have basically played a lot of games where a lot of shooting happens. And that's how most video games are today. And then what happens here, people hold guns and keep going. And then suddenly, there's a stranger coming behind you. If you're not careful enough and you don't go back and then basically shoot at him, you're shot. So a lot of real world scenarios are mimicked in this case of virtual reality when in the military training. So all these things are possible. And even in the case of the robots, so doctor is somewhere else, the robot is here, And I can virtually make the robot do an operation somewhere about 5,000 miles away. And somebody can sit probably in New York, a doctor can sit in New York, take the help of a robot. He himself can basically direct a robot to do a surgery in India. This is what virtual reality can help you today. So this is how it's valuable, another valuable technology that IT is going towards, and everybody, all our companies are investing it here also. For the next one, this is the last trend that I wanted to talk to you about, and this is 5G. You probably might know what 5G is. No, you might have heard about 5G. And you've seen 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. G stands for generation. 1G was to do with analogous devices, simple devices, very analogous devices. 2G, CDMA technology. It's actually a low-end technology in mobile phones. So these 2G technology, again, was very slow. There's nothing. You never had data in your phones. And slowly you went to basically 3G technologies where data was possible, mobile data was possible. So people started getting mobile data, so they started maybe searching the internet, they started looking at it. It happened with 3G. And next came with 4G and 4G LTE, where you can see movies. So you HDMI, so you want high definition HD TV movies on your mobile phone, it's possible because 4G made it possible. And then call drops are faster, internet searching is faster because 4G came in. And 5G is the next generation that's basically coming in. And it's a revolution, is what people believe. The adoption has still not happened in such a great level, but a lot of people are investing in 5G technology. And people believe today 5G can increase the world output close to about say 13 trillion US dollars. The complete world output today, the world wealth today, the GDP, what they call as GDP today, or the world is $65 trillion, and 5G is expected to add $13 trillion by the year 2035. So what is it? How is it different from 4G? 4G is faster than 3G by about, say, internet speed, for example, let us take. 4G is faster than 3G by about 10 times. 5G is faster than 4G by 100 times. So whatever you're getting by 4G, it's possible to basically get a 1 gigabit per second download using 5G. It can be so fast, and it can connect a lot of devices. It is not just probably mobile phones, any devices. We talked about Internet of Things, remember. So any smart devices other than phones, maybe washing machines, and probably your fans, your ACs, anything. If that particular object, if that particular machine is intelligent, you can easily connect it using 5G. So anything can be connected, and in 1.38 square miles area, it can connect about 1 million devices, whereas 4G can just connect 2,000 devices. It's so powerful. It's so fast and low latency. Latency means when you basically are searching the internet and the browser keeps running and running, gives you a response after 10 seconds. But with 5G, as soon as you click, things just get downloaded. It's highly reliable, massive network capacity, and always available. And can connect anyone, anything, just like the machines, objects, devices, anything that you talk about can be connected using 5G. Where do you use it? For example, let us say, we talked about driverless cars, as I show you a green car and a red car here. I talked about that in artificial intelligence. You have algorithms in these cars which basically make the decision that there's an object coming right in front of you, you got to stop. An object coming in front of you, you should basically steer clear of that object. And you have to go left, you have to go right. I mean, yes, algorithms basically help you to do that. But how is it possible for the car to do that unless it gets an information to it from a sensor which picks up what is happening in front of it? So if there's a delay using 4G, by the time 4G intimates you that the object has come, the car would have gone there and they've hit it. So it requires a large amount of speed, very quick response 4G cannot really give you. So it's only possible by having 5G here. When a 5G network is there, then mobile driverless cars are possible. If 5G is there, only then Internet of Things is possible. And today, without 5G, as I told you, 4G can only connect about 2,000 devices. Not every smart device. It can connect phones today. We're not gone to devices level in 4G. Still the latency is there. Still the speed is low. It's only 5G can make Internet of Things happen. Only 5G can make maybe a virtual reality happen. So it's one very, very, very strong area. And they're thinking that there will be 23 million jobs that would be produced if 5G is completely operational. And where do you use it in healthcare industry? Healthcare industry, I told you about robots. Robots, basically Internet of Things. Robots basically can help you to do remote surgery thousands of miles away when you have Internet of Things. If that has to work, you need to have 5G. Without 5G, nothing can happen. And you can also put a lot of streaming in the patient's body, and 5G can pick up all signals of all devices and basically tell you. It can basically monitor. It says the patient is having a blood loss. Nobody needs to visually inspect it. There's a device which records and then throws it off in the monitor thousands of miles away. The blood is continuously letting out. Blood is being let out. Or probably the heart is basically getting in 140, 150, 160 instantly. So that's where 5G is really an important technology. It's also coming in. And so there's one more thing that's going to revolutionize IT. So these are the 5 top IT trends that I wanted to talk about. And gentlemen, I took quite longer than what I expected. It's about 50 minutes or 45 minutes rather. So let me get on after this trends in technology. Let me get on to maybe other things, which I believe are far more important for you than maybe knowing about technology. I want to talk to you about technology because technology is always interesting for people. So the reason why I talk to you about technology, but I think more than technology, you need answers. That's what I'm cover in the next session, probably the next part of the session. I've spent about 20 minutes or so, but I'll be available to take your questions. Please don't worry. I can definitely do that. So let me take you to the next slide. What are the mistakes that you make at the entry level? I mean, a lot of people. I said the presentation is from college to company. So when you're going from college to company, what are the mistakes that people make? I'm not saying you guys might be smart enough, you might not make mistakes. A lot of people do make mistakes. And I've seen many people who came to be interviewed by me, falling trap for these kind of mistakes. What are these things when you're looking for a job? The people I've seen, a lot of people don't even attend campus interviews. I mean, I don't think the situation is now today, people are very well aware. I mean, everybody wants to take a campus interview because once you leave the campus interview, then probably your opportunities become very less. And the people are not prepared for campus interviews. That's what I see. And unfortunate incidents can always happen. I'm down with fever, or I have I have a marriage, important marriage to attend to, or maybe a family member is sick. I mean, these are valid excuses. It all depends on you that you can take it or not. But campus interviews happen to be the most important things where you land up in a good job. Please keep that in mind. I know it. I know that at least 90% of you probably might know it, but I'm just talking about the 10% of the people. I'm talking to the juniors, your first year, second year, third year people, first year and second year people who might not know. So it's very important to keep the campus interviews. You got to basically take them and then get well prepared for it. And how do you prepare for these campus interviews? Another slide will explain to you on that. And the second mistake that people make is that once I get a job, well, I can be happy, I can live happily ever after. So you've seen a movie, right? Recently there's a dialogue, ever before, never after. So such a great thing, a job happens, probably, everything is okay, I'm happy, nothing going to happen, and my parents will be happy, I'll be happy, I'll get married, everything is good. But IT is completely a different animal, gentlemen. I mean, gone are the days where you study for 4 years and do a job just based on the knowledge for 40 years. I mean, my life, our times were like that. When I joined the government at the time, whatever I learned, or probably 10% of what I learned is sufficient for me to do a job for 40 years. IT will not happen. Technology gets outdated very, very, very rapidly. I mean, once you get a job, your real challenge begins. So be ready, and I'm not threatening you, but at the same time, I'm saying that don't relax when you get a job. There's a lot of things to basically learn. It's something like entering you're getting a passport to enter a battlefield. You can get anything, but be ready, be prepared, and then probably learn. And you'll definitely do well. So getting a job is where the challenge really begins. I mean, where you need to really work hard. It can put you a lot of pressure. But now endure the pressure, you'll learn well. I'm sorry. So there are people who I've seen who would come and tell me, I like testing, I like networking, I don't like development, and I did not learn programming well. Please don't fall into the trap, gentlemen. If you decide that no, you wanted to do computer sciences, now you already had made a decision, or if you are probably, if you're unfortunate, maybe somebody, your parents might have taken the decision for you. You come out and you still have not learned to program well, and that can never be an excuse, gentlemen. So you say then that testing is easy, I don't like programming, let me get into networking, let me get into testing. But those are the areas which are easy, those are the areas which are going to be very competitive. And there'll be thousands of people, millions of people like you who are thinking like you. So even if somebody had made a choice, you may not have too much of say now, but learn, spend a little longer, you'll definitely get it. And you take the most difficult thing, the lesser is the competition. So learn your development very well. I mean, don't basically ignore your development, because that is where computer science is all about. And spend time, learn it, and you slowly start maybe learning it, even if you're not good at it. And other one that I see, for those people who have not done campus interviews, who are trying outside, I tried for the last 6 months, there are no jobs, I want to go back home. There's another one trap that a lot of people basically fall into. They get disappointed and then they say, I want to go away. Please don't give up, gentlemen. Spend longer. Don't get worried. And then decide what you really want to do. Understand, where you have made past mistakes and correct them. I mean, endure. You'll definitely find a job. I'm talking about the people who are basically, job savvy. I'm not talking about entrepreneurs, because this session is not for entrepreneurs. This is for basically, I think one of my might do another session for entrepreneurs. But this session is for people who basically are looking for employment. So don't give up, don't lose hope. 6 months, but learn from your past mistakes and keep working on. You'll definitely be able to land yourself in a good job. Other mistake that people do, my seniors advise me that learning this tool, MicroStrategy, will help me. My senior said learning database would help me. So I went straight away and then learned MicroStrategy, and I'm looking for a job, and nobody's giving me a job. Please don't take your advice of your seniors, 1 year seniors, 2 year seniors, who are also searching for jobs. Mind you, they themselves might not know. Try to basically speak to professionals who already are in IT. You might have your brother. If you don't have a brother in IT, you would have a cousin brother who's in IT. If you don't have a cousin brother in your IT, you might have a friend's father in the IT, or friend's brother in the IT. Go and meet them. Ask them what to do. Don't go join Amirpet, some coaching center in Amirpet, expecting because your senior advised you. Please don't do that mistake. Those are the people who will not find jobs even after 6 months. I'm talking about majority of the people. I can still say some of the seniors are very smart, but you don't know whether you really reach a smart senior. But majority of the people are like you. They also do not know. They're also learning. They're also trying to basically figure out what to do. They join MicroStrategy. They ask you to basically join MicroStrategy. They have joined testing. They ask you to join testing. Please don't believe that. You basically take the right advice, maybe from your mentors, maybe from the people who are professionals, from your known contacts, and probably at least your college professors. And they're the people at least who know what is happening outside, or your placement officer who might know what is happening, what to basically look at. But don't try to basically look at the advice of 1 year seniors who have not gotten into a job, please. Look at senior advice. Another one, I'm not interested in Java, but I'm interested in digital technology. I want straight away go learn AI and ML, big data. I don't want Java, because Java, AI and ML look very big. They're very interesting. So many things are happening. IoT is happening. 5G is happening. Gentlemen, first learn your fundamentals well. Look at your building block languages. With Java, learn your Java thoroughly. With .NET, learn your .NET thoroughly. That's where most opportunities are there. Your entry-level opportunities happen only there. Most companies basically give you opportunities there. If you learn that very well, extending on to the modern technology is not difficult. You can always get into modern technologies subsequently. So don't neglect bread and butter to look at something which is more fanciful. That is the reason why I said all the emerging technologies today that I'm talking about is not greatly useful to you. because you're not going to learn them as soon as you join. Most of you will not join as soon as you join a company. You'll start with basic programming. It could be Java, it could be .NET, it could be Python. Once you learn that well, once your fundamentals are good, once you become a good programmer, you can always get into AI and ML, you can get into 5G, you can get into maybe Internet of Things and things like that. But without your Java, without your .NET, without your fundamentals, you can't do anything. So first learn your fundamentals. First things first. Fancy things later on. The next slide. What are the myths at the entry level? So we talked about some of the mistakes here. What are the myths? Myths are false conceptions, false notions, false ideas. What are the false ideas that people will have at the entry level? So you join the company, 2 months later, I say, I want to grow very, very fast. Oh, I've been asked to do this only, that guy is doing that, I want to grow very fast. But imagine, gentlemen, most of our parents, for instance, let us say, if your father basically has been maybe a farmer, what was he doing? He was always plowing his fields, he was sowing his seeds, and then he was harvesting his plants. That was what he was doing all his life, all 40 years or 50 years, as long as he cultivated. And he probably is a cloth merchant, and he always sold the same clothes again to different customers. So please don't think that you want to grow very, very, very fast. Everything will have its own time. And then probably do well in one area. An opportunity will unfold itself probably to move on to another area. So don't get frustrated because you're not growing fast. Learn whatever is given to you well. Please do that. It doesn't matter 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. And specialization happens only when you spend longer in a particular area. So spend the time, don't get frustrated. In the meantime, somebody gets opportunity, yeah, you're welcome to basically move on to new area. But don't get frustrated. I'm bored doing the same thing again last 6 months. We talked about it. So it can be 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 1.5 years. There's a lot of to learn. So please keep that in mind. So don't get frustrated. Timing, be patient and continue to learn. And definitely there's a value in continuous learning. Resource X is worse. I have my neighbor who's sitting, I have my colleague who's sitting with me. And he is such a worse guy. He doesn't know how to code, but he's getting paid more than me. Why am I getting paid less? Gentlemen, you might show one person, and there can always be other people who can show 10 people who are better than you and are getting paid lower than you. Keep that in mind. And there could be a circumstance which probably might have got the worst resource more money, the better resource less money. The worst resource probably knew somebody in the team who probably trusts him. And then probably he thinks that a person who's trustworthy is more important to him. He might give him a higher salary. And a worse guy who's better than you might be getting less money because he might be communicating worse than you. You're a better communicator than that particular person. So though he's better than you, he's getting paid less than you. Remember that. Don't compare yourself with other people. Compare with yourself and always look at whether you are growing or not. Because comparison is false most of the time. But yeah, if a genuine reason to compare, you can do that. But don't keep going on comparing with other people. The other myth that people think is, I can change a job, I get a hike quickly. Gentlemen, the longer you spend the time with somebody, people basically would respect you. They'll give you opportunities to grow. They'll give you more challenges where you really learn the intricacies of work. You really learn how to work very well. But you keep joining, probably with a small hike, the guy takes a long time to trust you. And the first time something happens in the company, you're the first day to be fired. So just not a good hike should not be one reason why you have to jump the company. I mean, there are many more. I mean, stability is always respected when you're moving from one job to the other. If you're 6 months in a company and then jump into another company for 6 months and you're trying to go to a third company, the guy will not take you. He thinks that another 6 months you will leave him and then go to another company. So keep that in mind. I'm technically very sound. I mean, that's enough for me. I can't communicate. So, but still that is okay. That's a big myth. Understand, gentlemen? And this Rajshekhar, who doesn't know how to speak well, is a great programmer and sitting in a corner and nobody noticed him. And they will not even notice him unless I speak for myself and then tell other people that this is what I'm capable of. So communication is very, very important too, along with your technical soundness. Please don't neglect communication. I'm talking about maybe first year, second year students. Spend time reading, spend time speaking in English. You definitely will make it up. With time, definitely. Give time for it. Don't be impatient. Don't lose heart. Continuously keep trying. You'll definitely be able to do that. And the other thing that people are worried about is, oh, it looks very technical for me. And IT is a place where there's plenty of jargon which is there. I mean, jargon can be very bombastic. Jargon can really frighten you. They say Python, they say Perl, they say Jade, they talk about Diamond, they talk about framework, they talk about accelerator. Accelerator, what do you have? What do you know about accelerator? Accelerator is in a car. What do you know about framework? Framework is used in building construction where it's like a scaffold. And then Python is a snake. Why are these people talking about all these things? IT basically uses a lot of bombastic language. Underneath it, it's all normal. Don't be unduly overwhelmed. Don't get afraid because you see a lot of names in IT. I mean, open that cover, it'll be saying, don't worry about it. A new language with a new name comes. If you're a good programmer, irrespective of how great the name is, irrespective of how fearsome the name is, you will be able to master that language easily. So IT has a lot of jargon. Don't be afraid of the jargon, is what I'm trying to tell you. Let me go on to the next one. So what do interviews look for? Well, one thing, where people might want to basically see what will interviews look for. They look how thorough you are in your concepts. Please understand your concepts well. Don't look at only the examination and marks. They are important. Definitely anywhere in the world, these things are important, but you need to understand your concepts well. Why am I doing this? What am I doing and why am I doing it? This is a question that you've got to basically put to yourself about everything. So you're talking about Java concepts, you're talking about .NET concepts, you're talking about any other language concepts, you've got to be thorough with your concepts. And that makes understanding easier as you go into the future. But if you're passing your exams with a lot of marks, if you don't understand concepts, you will face problems in the job. And a job location is not going to be easy when you don't understand what you're doing. Second one is knowledge in your core languages. Say, for example, let's say that you have done something in Java, or you've been taught .NET. People expect you that you know your Java and .NET at least to the minimum very, very well. Forget about other things. The minimum things I'm expecting you is you understand your Java concepts well, or your database SQL Server concepts well. That's the minimum they would expect. So whatever is a part of your curriculum, whatever you're studying it thoroughly and with your concepts. And any extra knowledge in digital or cutting edge technology, AI, ML, automation, these are all not fundamentally necessary. These are additional things. It is something like, dress is important, but if wearing silk or cotton is yet another thing. ML and AI and automation are like silk, or MI and automation are basically golden buttons. You can do it with golden buttons. You can put normal buttons, acrylic buttons, but you need to have buttons. The buttons come mainly from your core building blocks of languages, Java, .NET, and things like that. Don't think ANML would give you that kind of a immediate push unless you are extraordinary. You can program very well and you learn on your own, and then probably machine learning, artificial intelligence. You can teach yourself and things like that. Yeah, those guys will go very, very, very far. That's a different thing. But first, look at fundamental languages, and then later on look at ANML. I mean, any interviewer would respect if you've done any additional work. Do you have GitHub? Have you pushed in any code into GitHub? So have you really worked on any other projects outside your academia? Is there something that you worked on? They would really, really, really respect that. So if you basically have done some freelance projects, this is a small project, it's still fine. So if you've done it, and people would respect that. And they would go to the code repository, they'll see your code, and they know that you have done all these things, and they'll respect it. And even if you're getting less marks, also these things will really make up if you get an interview opportunity. So please try to basically do something. If you get a freelancing opportunity, do it. If you're trying to basically somebody, maybe your colleague or maybe your father's friend is asking, well, you say, I'm a small pharmacy. Can you basically help me to develop an inventory management system? You get such kind of an opportunity, don't lose that. Maybe you people can form a small team and start doing it, and that'll be widely respected. And ready to take on whiteboard coding problems. The interviewers can straight away ask you, on the board, go. I'm giving you this problem, solve it. Be prepared for it. Learn there. Probably go to the site, and there are a couple of slides, where I can also talk about them, subsequently. There are a couple of slides where you can go. I mean, there are a lot of sample problems are there. Solve them, learn them. I mean, you do this, I'm sure any interview is going to be easy. But if you're not doing these two things, you're only learning concepts, is still fine. But you definitely need to do these things also if you want to really get good companies to take you, good packages to basically happen for you. And confidence and communication, how confidently you can do. I mean, that comes with practice. Don't worry. There's not one day that you basically can get it. Like acquiring knowledge, confidence and communication will also take some time. So next, what are things to do? I'm coming close to it. Maybe I have a couple more slides. Prepare thoroughly for interviews. I did tell you, probably what are the things that interviewers look for in the previous slide. Be careful about them. Prepare thoroughly for interviews. Use Glassdoor. A lot of questions can be there online. And Glassdoor is another site. Maybe look for it. There they tell you, what kind of companies you're looking at, how questions are there, what kind of questions come in, and then how is the interview process and all that. Look at Glassdoor. There's a site. And for coding, look at LeetCode and then Fram. There'll be a lot of coding problems. Probably you can spend time. You need to spend time. So if you're done with your classwork, but put that extra effort to basically learn coding, look at problems that are there in LeetCode, sample problems, Fram, keep on coding. Always keep doing it. And you know what Bill Gates? Bill Gates at the time where there were only mainframe systems which were there, and you didn't have terminals at the time. There were very, very few universities that had terminals at the time where you can basically do and then access the mainframe system. Bill Gates was fortunate to basically get a university there, and then the university allowed him to basically work on the computer terminal because he said, I will test your code free of cost by spending as much time as you want me to spend. And every day for about 10 years or 12 years, in the night, starting at 9 till 4 o'clock, he started programming. And programming is not so simple today. You didn't have compilers those days. And he is the man who probably might have spent about 10,000 hours by the time he reached 23. So much of programming experience he had. And that's the reason why he basically founded such a large company, such a great company today, Microsoft. And gentlemen, practice. Without practicing, you get nothing. Continue to practice. That's very, very valuable. Be honest. Don't bluff through your interview. I mean, you don't know anything. Probably you say, I don't know. For every question, you won't get the interview. You won't get through the interview. But some stuff you don't know. Some stuff. Please admit that you don't know. I mean, wherever it makes sense, you're the best yet. Won't be overwhelmed by jargon, Perl, Python framework, blockchain accelerators. Don't get really worried about them because underneath them, it's the same thing. So don't worry. If you know one language, you can pick up another language, and if you know proper programming, you can pick up anything. It's just a matter of time. So learn your programming concepts well. Take advice from the right people. I told you, professors are industry experts, authentic known sources. Don't take it just from your seniors who are 1 year senior to you, 2 years senior to you, who probably might not know. Work hard willingly, long hours. Say, my company is asking me to work in the night also. I want to go home after 6 o'clock, and then I'm not getting a chance. Don't get into that attitude. When you're joining your company, be willing to work longer hours because that's the only time where you will learn very. Once you learn, any company will pick you up, and your life is going to be easier because it pays you well. Don't crib if somebody is giving you an assignment for a long time. Be open-minded and flexible. I mean, don't keep on talking. When people are talking, please listen. Because in the world today, there are very few people who are listening. Everybody wants to talk. But the more you listen, the more information you get from your people. They get encouraged to speak, your seniors, and probably your peers. And then probably pick up as much as you basically can. And when it's needed, you also speak. But listening can get you very far than speaking, because speaking, you only talk and talk and talk. You'll not be willing to listen. But listening, do a little more of it. Learn that, because not many people are able to listen today. That's when you become more and more wise. These are some of the things that I have. And go that extra mile. Research and find out when you don't know something. Don't stop. I mean, I've done my job, and or probably somebody gave me this assignment. Nobody's helping me out. Don't wait with that mentality. You try to basically, you have Google. We talked about Google in the beginning. It gives you any answer for any question. Research and find out. I mean, that's respected a lot in the company. And remember, technology life cycle is very, very short. So what is current today will get outdated tomorrow. So learn continuously. Continuously you got to learn. And 4 years learning 40-year job will not happen, because every year you got to learn new things in IT. And you will enjoy learning it after some time. Definitely, I'm gentlemen, believe me, I'm a civil engineer. I hated IT, but now I started loving it. There's so many things there. So I'm not a technologist. I'm more into sales and customer relationships. But I enjoy it because there are a lot of things in IT that are needed. It's not just only programming, but programming happens to be the core. And from there you move on in any direction. Once you learn your programming well, then probably you become a salesman, or maybe you got to get into a business analyst, or you want to basically get into probably business development, or you want to become a tester. Everything will work well, but learn some programming first. That's my sincere advice to you. And don't expect that managers are great because I want to become a manager. And if you're not a technical manager, nobody respects you a little late. So technical manager, yes, the time comes, all of you will become technical managers when you're good. And then, probably you'll enjoy it because you know what other people are doing. Otherwise, you just become a manager, you not know what other people are doing it. It's of no great value. So stay nimble, value the habit of self-learning. Self-learning is very important. And nobody teaches you. Don't expect that for everything you have to go to Amirpet and then probably learn. You won't get the time once you start working. And then when you develop the habit of learning on your own, you'll really, really love it. And such people only will be ahead of other people. Do some self-learning. Always have the habit of developing this self-learning aspect. Make reading a regular habit, gentlemen. Yeah, make reading a regular habit. Understand we say technology direction. Technology is technology is moving. I did talk about a few trends. These are high-level trends, but in deeper trends. Have a tab on it. Continuously keep reading blogs, books, whatever. Wherever you spend some spare time. I'm not saying every time work hard and then no fun. Have fun, but at the same time also give some attention to some reading. And don't think Facebook, Google are only great companies. Oh, you got into Infosys. Look at me. I got into Facebook. I got into Google. I got into Microsoft. Don't feel bad if you're basically joining into a services company like Infosys and TCS. There are advantages there. The advantages are that Infosys basically works with a lot of customers. And you're working for 5 years at Infosys. There are so many people, there's so many customers you get exposed to, so many different applications that you're going to develop. So it will be a good thing that you're working in a services company in the beginning. Though people might prefer product companies like Facebook, Google, or Amazon and all that. Even if you're getting into a services company, smaller company, or bigger company, take it as a challenge and always learn. First few years is only learning. The smaller the company, more challenges you will face and more learning you will have. You might not learn processes, structured learning, but the guys who basically are falling into smaller companies, they have to do everything on their own. There's a lot of learning for them. And try to understand business side of technology. Don't do that. Probably why are you doing this? I'm working for a bank, and today I'm using this business intelligence tool, Tableau. I'm giving this data to my salesperson. Why are you giving this data to the salesperson? I don't know. So you are giving this data to the salesperson, where people who have taken from the loans from the bank are returning this money. How many people are giving? How many people are not giving? And you are giving the data of people who are not repaying the loan. So you, in such a case, you try to see what are the steps involved in loan repayment. So there's the business side. If you understand the business side, and you will be able to program better. It's not just technology. Whenever you have time, spend time understanding the business also. Then you become a great programmer. And try making it to the compass job. This is what I talked about. And for those people who wanted to read, I do have certain reading suggestions. These things probably belong to my time. I don't know really. I stopped reading technical books so much today. But these are certain classics that probably will be useful for anybody. The Mythical Man Month is a classic, and this has relevance anytime, every time. So Mythical Man Month, Frederick Brooks is one of the greatest software engineers that the world has seen. So Mythical Man Month is a great book. It talks about every process of the product life cycle and what kind of problems you face and things like that. It's a compilation of essays. The essays talk about project management, the essay talks about development. There are essays which basically are doing a business analysis. There are essays on maybe bugs and testing and things like that. It's a good book. I enjoyed it. Learned a lot reading it. Code Complete for proper programmers. Steve McConnell. And these are some business books. World is Flat. It tells you how IT evolved in India, how IT basically, how internet came in and things like that. It's a general business book. Thomas Friedman's World is Flat. And you want to really understand some good technologies that I talked about. There's a lot more that you can read in The Inevitable, Kevin Kelly. Fish, another book. It shows the direction of how large companies like Microsoft are moving these days. It's written by Satya Nadella. And remember, I mean, a lot of people might not understand them. It doesn't matter. I mean, those people who understand will understand them. Those who don't understand will understand them later. And we can read that later. I'm just suggesting for the people who are interested and who are capable of reading. Don't worry about it. Lean In is something about women, work, and will, and the will to lead. And this is Sheryl Sandberg, is the CEO of Facebook. She basically just specifically focuses on women, and probably the women candidates who are here probably can read it. The general book, apart from the other books which are general books, but this is a woman-based book, a woman-focused book. I'm not saying men cannot read it. Men can also read it, but more focus on women. It can help maybe women who basically are joining the workplace. And with this, I think, thank you all, and then I can leave the session open for questions. And if you have time, probably I can still wait for some time to take questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session. Now, if anyone want to ask the questions to Rajsekhar Reddy garu, you can raise your hands so that I can unmute you.
The captain, yeah, I see you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you can unmute now, Captain.
Sir, you told that the 5G technology is arriving in our future days. What about our privacy, sir?
Security is a concern too. Security is a concern. A lot of people are working on it. 5G is a technology of future still. 5G is not being implemented today in such a wide manner. It is still in the laboratory, just come out of laboratory. Its widespread usage will take some time, at least a couple of years. By then, security would also be in place, is what we are thinking.
Another doubt, sir. What is the impact on nature, sir? How it impacts nature?
Nature in the sense, you say the radiation is going to happen, probably, because of that, you get all kinds of diseases and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Is that the direction of your question? I mean, is this still Captain asking the question?
Yes, sir.
Captain, I don't know, Captain. That's still not there. No, it's not proved. A lot of people are thinking like that. The people are thinking that 5G can have a lot of radiation. It will basically cause a lot of problems, a lot of cancers, a lot of other health-related problems if it is exposed, or if people start using it in a widespread manner. But that is not proved yet. People are still looking at it. And if there is something which probably they can do, if they find that that's really true, somebody will find a solution there. Because no technology into the future is fail-proof. There's still a lot of things which there are concerns about. People are still working on all those concerns. We talk about IoT, but still there's a lot of concern because so much of data is going to happen because so many devices are working with the cloud today. 50 billion devices onto the cloud by 2020. And imagine how much data is going to produce. And what is about data security is a easy question. And people are working on maybe making it safe. It'll take some time, but it will happen.
One more thing, sir. In Chrome, we are using Ignition tab. Does the Chrome records?
Yeah.
Does the Chrome records our search? You said that the 3 trillions of searches are.
Yeah, you're basically looking at Google. You're basically you're searching a question in Google. Google basically, Google saves your question into the database. The Google tracks everything about you, Captain. It tells you, where you're going, what you're doing, what kind of shopping you've done, what value of shopping you've done, which are the places you all moved in the last 1 week, which are your favorite restaurants. It knows everything about you. You are definitely you're using probably your Google Maps now. Google Maps traces you everywhere, and I've seen instances just based on Google Maps when at least some people were not found, they left the company somewhere and they're roaming away somewhere. They use Google Maps to basically catch them. So Google tracks everything about you.
We are continuously watching by some other, sir. Is it?
Yes. Most of you are being watched. There's no digital privacy as such today. Most of the information is being watched today. So you are basically clicking, when you're opening a site, you are basically saying that I accept. And there are so many other notifications that come in allow cookies. Ultimately, yeah, everything that you do is basically cart. And then probably how will you basically get today an advertisement if the site doesn't know that you're interested in it? And you basically have bought somewhere in some other site, you gone to Amazon today, and then you basically have bought maybe a new pair of shoes. It knows that you're interested in shoes. I made an inquiry that you search for some shoes in Amazon, and you search for Google, getting on some other site, Google pushes you an advertisement on shoes. How will it know? You watched. Yeah, we can ask other questions.
Yes, sir. Aman from Vijayawada. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
You can speak.
Yeah, Aman, please go ahead. Go ahead, please. Are you able to hear me? Am I audible? Kiran, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. But Aman, maybe he left, sir.
Let's
So
go on other
we'll
person.
go for Reshma.
Yeah, Reshma.
Reshma, you can unmute. Yes, you can speak.
Hello, sir. I'm Reshma from Bangalore.
Okay.
So my question is, now in the company, which is the most trending they will be seeking from the fresher? What they will be seeking for the freshers to enter into the IT companies, sir? Either is in a service company or in a product-based company. What they will be seeking from the fresher?
See, it's a very open-ended question, Reshma. So any interviewers, I basically went back to the slide. Let me go back to the slide. What would interviewers look for? So these are generic answers that I am giving. How thorough are your concepts? And do you understand your syllabus very well? Do you have any extra knowledge? For example, let us say you have done a AI and ML course on maybe on MOOCs. So for example, you looked at a freeware, move to a freeware where you can do a lot of courses. So if you've done Andrew Nagy's machine learning certificate, if you have Andrew Nagy machine learning certificate, you go to Microsoft, you're good with your .NET, for instance, and they know that you also done Andrew certification that can add value. They also look at maybe have you done any projects outside your academy? I mean, have you basically put any code in the GitHub? The GitHub has any code where you have really worked on something. And are you basically in a position to basically solve the problem given by your interviewer? And are you confident? Are your communication good? These are all things that interviewers look at. So if you're really aiming for a very good college, people look at maybe taking college which doesn't have such a great image. And still, a lot of previous companies come to you. Infosys comes in, Wipro comes in, Mahindra Satyam also comes in. Lots of companies come. Does it answer your question, Reshma?
Yes, and another one question. And you said in the second slide that it is not possible that we can store the big data of our Facebook user profiles and this thing, Amazon products list and all. So how would actually the name itself, big data, is to store this thing, the storage of the present one or historical one. The name itself.
You have Hadoop. There are other things. You basically can put it in flat files. There are Hadoop, Apache Storm, Cassandra. The other databases which have come, which can even hold big data.
Okay. But I didn't get the clarity once, sir, that how we cannot possible to store the huge data of FB user profiles.
You cannot. Why you cannot store?
Huge amount of this storage of.
What I'm saying is, your relational databases that you basically have today have certain limitations in basically getting the data. There are 3 billion users today in the world. The data relating to all of them cannot get into a traditional database, is what I was trying to say. The databases which basically have been found out where such profile related data can also be stored. I mean, there are other tools that we talked about just now.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, next, Aman from Vijayawada. Now you can unmute
me,
yourself.
Tell me,
Aman. Aman, you can speak. Hello, Aman.
Go ahead, Aman.
Maybe no, sir. SR. No, he don't have audio. Satvika. Satvika, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you suggest the apps that we learn coding and communication skills?
I mean, there are many apps, I can't really tell you what to basically learn, because if I'm giving you a solution, it means that I'm asking you to focus there. I mean, it all depends on your interest. So once you know what your interest is, probably reach out to a professional who is there in the software industry, and probably at least a mid-level professional who had basically worked for 10 years or 15 years there, and talk more with them. Because this session is not, it's not possible to suggest what to do. But all that I can suggest is, look at your programming languages that you are currently learning in your syllabus, learn thoroughly, and get your concepts well. And probably what you want to do after coming out is something that you can discuss with some seniors. Well, I'm not a programming expert myself, let me admit that. And you can really speak to hardcore programmers and basically discuss and then get to a conclusion.
Yes. Next, Shubham Kasar. You can unmute yourself. Hello. Shubham Kasar, you can unmute yourself. Maybe no, she is not there, sir. Raghavan.
Hello.
Yes. You can speak.
Hello, sir. I'm Shubham from Mumbai. So I had a hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I am from Mumbai, and I had a question regarding this campus recruitments. Actually, I was not good in academics, so my marks are not kind of good. And even my college doesn't have a good campus recruitment system. So what should I do?
1 minute, Shubham. Sir, Rajsekhar, sir, you are muted, sir. You can unmute from yourself, sir. Sir, you have, yes, sir. Now.
Yeah. So, yeah. Can I get your name again? I just did not get your name.
Myself, Shubham, sir.
Shubham, yeah. That's I mean, I think, I appreciate the question because it's a bold question. You told me, what your problems are. And in fact, I forgot to basically mention one of the most important things that people should do when they try to join a company is admit your shortfalls, admit your and go forward. Unless you admit your limitations, probably you will not learn anything new. You think you're good and you want to prove to people that you're good, though you're not really very good. So be humble, accept what your reality is and keep going. And Shubham, I appreciate basically, your difficulties. I mean, a lot of people who did well with all the difficulties also. So if you don't have any kind of campus interviews, let me ask this question. So there are walk-in interviews, large companies also ask you to attend. You'll have to basically keep connecting, keep talking to people. I mean, try to basically get into networking. Try to understand, which companies would start advertising for interviews. There'll be walk-ins, a lot of walk-ins there. So keep going for those companies that you're interested in, if you get opportunities. But otherwise, a lot of small companies also look at a lot of entry-level opportunities. So you may have to basically show them. I mean, you may have to try interviews there, and once you get it, and then probably look at the same questions, whatever interview questions that you already have. So which I talked about in the previous slides. If you have well read that side, and I mean, there's no guarantee that I mean, I can't say that you will not land up in a large company. Also, you can even land up in a large company. A lot of CTSs, a lot of TCSs. Those people hire resources in thousands probably in a quarter, 25,000 in a quarter, 30,000 in a quarter. So you might still get an opportunity. All that you need is keep your eyes and ears open and probably look at applying everywhere. And even if you're getting less marks, don't worry. But if you show that you have experience already, I did tell you that, if there are any hackathons that are happening somewhere, attend them. If you have any developing any application, somebody or you alone, keep doing that. Use your GitHub, push some code into that. And such experience, real-time experience is valuable. And keep looking for opportunities, what I can advise you. And if you, whatever real work that you do, whatever code that you push into your GitHub can always compensate for your lesser number of marks. But opportunities, you'll have to basically look around with the eyes and ears open. Shubham, is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute, sir. Mohan, you can unmute yourself. Mohan, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. This is Mohan from Visakhapatnam.
Yeah, Mohan.
Does internships matter in getting a job?
Yes. Internship, a good internship where you have worked will always get you a job. It's easy for you. You already know the environment. You can always explain to people what you did.
Okay.
Internship where you get a certificate will not be valuable. The chances go down when you're getting internship for a certificate. Daily work, doesn't matter small company or big company, when you have an opportunity to work, definitely it helps you.
Thank you, sir.
Raghavan, you can unmute yourself.
Sir, hello. This is Raghavan from Vijayawada.
Hi, Raghavan.
Sir, iPhones can't be hacked easily,
Okay.
Can an app be developed for the Android phone?
I don't know, Raghav, because this is not a technical session. And I can't answer this question because I don't know.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have...
So those are two technical questions. You have to basically look at the internet to basically find it yourself or talk to a security expert. I'm not a security expert to basically understand, and then answer you.
Sorry, sir.
No problem. I'm only trying to tell you, what is possible from my side.
Okay, sir. Sir, I need the PPT. Can you put it in the Telegram group, sir?
I don't know whether I can share because my problem is I have used a lot of images which could be proprietary. I can remove the images and send you. I'll send it to Subara.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You see the images here. I'll take away the images because images might be proprietary. I just did it because I don't know where to get these images from. I searched Google, got the images and put it. I can remove the images and send you.
Okay, sir. I just need the theory part.
No problem. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Again, I think Shubham has another doubt, I think, sir.
Sure, sir.
Shubham, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And I'll surely
do. Did you get your answer, Shubham?
Sir, I wanted to ask, is it advisable to join certain courses, certain renowned courses, which offer you jobs after, attending their courses? So after you learn Java from them, they'll get you a job, get you into a good company. So is it advisable to, join them?
It all depends on the company, Shubham, because a lot of people promise and then they don't deliver. If you're really finding a company which can find you opportunities, why not? But I don't know which company is good, which company is bad. Because a lot of companies who don't have business keep on promising to give you live projects, and they promise you to join them because they can get you some job opportunity. And they say that I know a HR in Infosys, I know a HR in DCS, well, and I can put you there. This is something which I don't know. This is not the general rule. So I don't know if it's possible, not possible. I can't, I'm not the right authority to comment on that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Chinnappu Reddy. No, actually, Aman, again, you have a doubt. I think you can unmute yourself, Aman.
So let's basically give opportunity for other people, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sir, now can you hear me?
Yeah. Go on, Aman.
Actually, my phone was damaged, so I'm using my laptop. So my doubt is that, sir,
Go ahead.
Sir, I have noticed a lot of, sir, as you have said, technology is doing a lot and people are getting automated. But still, I have seen there are few places which is not still automated. So how much time it will take for everywhere to get automated, and AI machine learning could catch up in a boom in India? As Dubai is like they are already in automated, robots are being used, machine learning concept has been taken in a next level in Dubai. So how much time it will take to cover up in here?
Yeah, something like, you asking me a question, how much time everybody will basically get on the internet? I don't know. So it's something like saying that how long will it take for everybody to buy groceries online? I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult question to ask, because in the future, it will never happen that everybody will get online. I don't think so, because there will always be certain mechanical activities which will happen. There will always be automation activities. Both of them will happen, and one beside the other. I mean, you can never take away the manual task, because if you don't do any manual task, humans will not exist very, very long. The machines will take over. So there will always be certain manual tasks. There will also always be automation. If you're asking me, if AI and ML, IoT is there in India, yeah, a lot of services companies still do a bit of AI, ML, and then IoT, and then virtual reality and things like that. I mean, TCS, for example, it does a lot, and Infosys, all large companies do it. But will it get all over India? I don't know. If the government also will allow it. You are about 1.35 billion people. So you say everything gets automated, and then probably you will see that I want to basically get out of employees everywhere. Government might not even allow. You don't know what future is going to be. But yes, if you're talking about maybe good implementation of advanced technologies, I mean different technologies will take different time. Technology will continue to evolve, and if you are talking about all these AI, ML, all these things are just in the takeoff stage now. Probably another 10 years, there will be a lot of differences. But does it mean that 10 years you're plateauing? No. And next 20 years can be something that's much more bigger. 30 years much more bigger. And we don't know. You can't really predict future. And then probably there'll be a situation where only machines will work and humans will not work. We don't know what it is.
Yes, sir. And sir, one more question I had about, you have told about college placements and interviews. I have noticed that civil and mechanical people doesn't get their core company's job. So what is the situation for the civil mechanical people if they don't get jobs from campus in their core? What will be their future?
I mean, I'm not a career counselor, but nevertheless, let me tell you something. See, civil, you still have jobs. I don't think construction activity as such is reduced. A lot of private firms are there. There is a chance. There are a lot of consultancies which are there still. A lot of companies are there. Mechanical, I see, yes, at this point in time, there are not many jobs. And IT still continues to be the biggest job driver. I mean, close to about 60% of the jobs in India are from IT. The new jobs that are basically coming in. I'm not talking about the older jobs where people are there. 60% of jobs are coming in IT. I mean, there's not a question that I can answer, because how many people and how much the government can provide, how much private sector enterprise will come, and where will mechanical engineers will get absorbed? Will they get into IT? They learn IT and then get into small software companies? Or they be entrepreneurs on their own? I don't know really, because that's future, right? No, I mean, in the Indian conditions, what can happen is difficult to predict. But what I would say is that, I mean, whichever way it is, it's not difficult to basically find a job. I mean, continuously try keeping at it. If you're a mechanical engineer, but you're still interested in IT, move to IT. If you're a mechanical engineer and then probably you're a civil engineer, probably you want to really do civil engineering, yeah, get into searching. If you're a civil engineer, you have opportunities in any of the consultancies, large construction companies, continue to keep going there. But if you're a civil engineer, you want to get into IT. If I don't have an opportunity to get into IT, how do I manage? Well, you got to be very good at it to get an initial opportunity. Once you get a breakthrough, well, people might be willing to look at it. But as of now, yeah, first anybody is qualified. The computer sciences guy is qualified. They have a better edge when looking at maybe offering jobs. If a computer sciences guy is really good, and if a mechanical guy is really also good, they should prefer computer sciences guy because he's qualified in that particular area. But it does not stop mechanical engineering guys, civil engineering guys to learn computer sciences and then move on to a job. I mean, I've seen a lot of people who are doing it.
Afrin Banu. Afrin, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. And let me just continue as answer the question too. You know, probably another thing is that there are a lot of one person, two people, three people IT companies also in the country today. So you can, if you have an idea, if you have a great idea, and you can basically put in your limited resources, and you can you can definitely keep working on it. And your idea is very good. You don't have to have a large establishment. You can still work at home, and then you have a good idea. You have the right skills. You can develop an application, and then with probably, you know, with two people, three people, and you will still for sure expect some funding. A lot of angel investors are there. A lot of private equity people are there. A lot of fund managers are there, are looking at really good people with good ideas. So that's also a possibility. Somebody who wants to be entrepreneurs, you know, there are a lot of scope in entrepreneurs. A lot of unicorns today. You talked about Swiggy, a small app that you built. Three people done. And basically in the current, everybody is doing work from home. So can I basically develop a great work from home application? Yeah, you can do. I mean, there are people who are basically working on it. They got funding also. So you can be entrepreneurs also on your own if you don't get a job and you have the capability and you really have the. Yeah, the next question, please.
Yes, Afrin, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. My doubt is, as I developed the 4 or 5 web pages and I developed the 2 web applications, so I need to work with the full stack developer as in Java. Yeah, can I grow with these full stack developer as much faster with this in IT sector?
Yes, and people looking at developers, definitely they are respected. I mean, you have an edge if you are a full stack developer in a particular area.
Okay, sir.
Okay, actually, no more questions, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. It's a pleasure because, you know, I like Subbarao. I also like the audience here.
Sir, it's muted, sir. Your voice is muted, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thank everybody because this is a great opportunity because what I teach you all this who are here. A lot of guys might not have spoken because this podium might not have given an opportunity for a lot of people who are good to pose questions.
Sir, our principal sir will speak, sir. Chandrasekhar, sir.
Yeah. Rajshekhar Reddy Garu, I wholeheartedly and sincerely convey my deepest thanks on behalf of CIET management and students for your excellent talk on today's webinar, that is transition to industry. First of all, I congratulate all the participants for their patient listening. It is my privilege to express vote of thanks about today's webinar. Undoubtedly, I can say it is the most informative and excellent interactive talk, and you have touched upon many emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, and big data, and also you touched upon the interview skills and some more important things which are really useful for fresher graduates who seek jobs. And I hope all the participants definitely get benefited to some extent from today's wonderful session. Thank you very much, sir. And at the same time, if possible, in future, we can come with some more webinars. So with your permission, sir. And at the same time, I convey my sincere thanks to our CSE department, especially CSE HOD and Subbarao Garu for their valuable efforts putting in this webinar. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Subbarao Garu, I request Subbarao Garu to speak some words. Subbara garu, you can unmute yourself.
The host is not allowing participants to unmute themselves. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, you can speak.
Okay, basically, I was tense in the morning. I don't know how things will go in the evening, but I thought it will be something like 15 minutes talk, but he has covered very in depth some topics, which just the headings, but he has also given a lot of examples which can make you remember. I should thank CSE HOD Dr. K. Kiran Kumar Garu for having invited students from all over India. This webinar is a success, and I hope Rajshekar Reddy Garu, it was great hearing to you, listening to you, and basically it is useful. I don't know how many of our college students have participated in this. Whoever have, in fact, when I told my HOD the talk will be on transition to industry, he said, why? But today the talk has gone off well. Thank you.
Sir, I have one last question, sir. This question is from a participant called Mohan.
Sure.
Can a student in private engineering college can get a better job than the student in the IIT?
There are people, sir. There are people who have done it. And for your information, I think Microsoft CEO today had done his engineering from Manipal. So Manipal was not a merit college those days. People basically had, I would say it's still a merit college. At least our times, probably we paid donation to join Manipal. So, I mean, you had IIT people from IIT, but still, the admission, the CEO position went to Satyanadella. Possible. You can't really say that, every private engineering student, an average IIT student, an average private engineering student, there's a difference, sir. But just because you are from a private engineering college, it does not mean that, you are inferior to some of the outgoing students of a renowned college. And I can give you an example. I had a junior in college. I did some CBIT, and he topped the Indian Engineering Services in 1994. Probably that was the time where probably we were giving some competitive exams. 1994, this friend topped All India Engineering Service. A lot of IIT guys have also written the same exam. So you can't really say that if you're really very good, yes, possible.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for accepting our request and making this webinar a success. Yeah. Actually, we have participants from 18 states, sir. So around 415 participants have joined in Zoom, and again 300 more participants have joined in YouTube, sir. So
wonderful, sir. My pleasure. My pleasure that I never knew that I would be able to attend such a large gathering.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Principal Garu. Thank you, Subara.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Bye. Bye.